turn the meeting back over to Pete.
Thank you, Al. So let me turn it over to Brendan, who is going to do the evaluation for Brian.
Thank you, sir. Hello? I don't really need this. All right. So, Brian Dooley demonstration, starting with can openers and just opening up the can in us to answer a question and see what's really inside of us. One question, which is that I think the most impressive thing about the whole demonstration is that you can ask one question, and it's not really just one question. I mean, that you would have been good in one of my English composition classes where they told you to write 3 pages on something that normally you thought would only take 1 page to write, but you had to write 3 pages to get a grade. So I could have used you in that class. So I enjoyed your introduction with the analogy to how to open the can. It's just we have to get what's inside, and you did channel author. Was it Sharma? Is that the proper name?
Sharma.
Sharma. You did channel the wisdom of a great mind, Sharma, and I appreciate the. I always gauge when someone takes someone else's wisdom and they've applied it, and then they bring it to you. So it's a special. It's not just credibility. It's like I'm in the moment with that great mind. So it's that's always something that goes well in a presentation. Was it engaging? Yes, we were listening. We were engaging, listening to what you had to say at the beginning, and we couldn't wait to understand what it would be like for us to be involved in that. I thought the audience was stimulated because, as you were wrapping up the introductions, I'll say, and then you even went and took the side of volunteer to begin the process. And I thought it was very stimulating would be the right word to use. So just the entire speech, I think, for the audience to be involved, and your use of the Sharma's way of conducting communication is great. As for suggestions for clarity, so this brings me to where what stood out with me, my wish that you would have organized it so that you could leave with a really thorough conclusion to leave us wanting more. And your introduction was so thorough, and the demonstration was so thorough that I felt like the conclusion I would have liked it to match the weight of the rest of the speech. That's the only really basic suggestion. You were up here, you were looking at us, you were a very genuine voice, and so your delivery was right on. But I guess you were limited to your conclusion based on time, and overall, I thought it was a great presentation, but I would have liked a conclusion that would leave us wanting more, and as well as the first parts of the speech. But it was we were engaged, and I can't wait to do that again with someone else offline. So it was a great exercise. Thank you, Brian, for doing that with us.
Thank you, Brendan. Let me now turn it over to Lindsay, who's going to do the evaluation for Beth.
All right, what was the time on that speech?
Oh, I didn't ask.
This was
Best speech, 7 minutes and 13 seconds.
All right, so a little over, but not much.
In the margin.
Yeah. All right, so I thought that Beth's speech was really entertaining. I thought you really excelled at tying your family's unique history into the history that was going on around them at the time, and sort of talked about how that shaped their trajectory and how that led them to coming to America and all the places and the pit stops along the way. I thought you really brought the story to life, like the way that you used those anecdotes and the descriptions about your great-grandfather's story. I thought we could really picture it as you were telling it to us. It felt like I was listening to a really great podcast. And I think everyone was probably very entertained and thought it was really interesting. The one thing I would say you might want to work on is nailing down the exact year or the exact span of years at the beginning, because obviously that's the intro, so you want to have it nice and strong. And occasionally I felt a little confused by all the greats and the great-greats and the great-great-greats. I don't know if there's any way to clarify that, or maybe just focus more on your great-grandfather since he was kind of the star anyways, but it might be a thing to consider. In terms of things like the clarity, the eye contact, the vocal variety, I thought, as always, you're so great at all those things. You seem very comfortable. You make great eye contact and use gestures in a way that feels very natural. So I have no additional feedback for you on those things. But overall, I thought it was a really entertaining story, and I look forward to hearing it again. Ugh.